Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I'm gonna teach you a valuable life lesson. This applies to everything. And this lesson will change your life for the better or the worse if you follow the advice. This applies very well in real estate investing. And had I not taken this advice, I would have taken a huge, I'm talking massive loss. But thankfully I did take the advice and everything actually worked out to my favor. So before I begin, smash that like button, comment, and subscribe. So I'm in Camden, New Jersey right now. Camden, New Jersey is about 5-10 minutes from Philadelphia, just on the other side of the bridge. And the neighborhood is a very dense neighborhood, Incomes are pretty low, crime is pretty high, and you can get properties at a really good price here. But with that great price comes some trade-offs. One of those trade-offs is this right here. So this property underwent massive fire damage here. We had a tenant that I think was under the influence and had a candle right here. And that candle took up the blinds and it took it all the way up top here, took it to the second floor, lit up the entire property. Whole property was covered in smoke. That smoke carried through the entire property, and all of the bedrooms, everything had to be repainted. Even the floors had to get ripped up because the floors were destroyed through half the house. And so that's what's happening right now. The biggest problem is that if you don't have the right insurance, and some people think that they'll just get the basic coverage, if you don't have the right insurance, you're gonna put yourself in a position to take a massive loss. I'm talking huge. This would have probably cost me $30,000 or $35,000 to do start to finish. But if you have the right insurance, you literally can just file the claim. You just file the claim. So never be what's called penny smart, dollar stupid. So you try to save a couple bucks every month. We're gonna learn this too with the riots. You're gonna see a lot of small business owners that had really underinsured their businesses and property, and they're gonna be unable to open up shop again. So always overinsure properties, cars, watches, whatever you have that's of value. Get insurance and overinsure that property. I'm gonna give you the landscape. So there's the floors. They just got ripped up. We're gonna put new floors in throughout. And that right there is already boarded up. And flipping out the appliances here. These appliances, if we did it now, what would ultimately end up happening is someone would probably break in through this back door and come gut the appliances, and then we just take a loss on it. The problem here in New Jersey is that the city is still in lockdown. I came here about 2.5 months ago thinking that I'll stay, and what ultimately ended up happening was that New Jersey became the worst state. It's like right next to New York. New York and New Jersey are the worst places to be for what's happening right now. So now I'm gonna be coming back, but now I'm kind of stuck because I can't rent the property, cannot get rental income here. I can't get the renter's permit, and I really can't move forward. So it just sits vacant every single day, costing money, every single day. So when you are thinking about buying property, when you're thinking about leveraging yourself, always make sure you're prepared for a worst case scenario. If you can't handle a worst case scenario, don't do it. So if you can't handle 6 months or a year's worth of vacancies like we're gonna see a lot of people have, then you could be in trouble. And you're gonna see a lot of people lose everything in this shutdown that we're all experiencing because they leverage themselves at 70%, 80% loan to value. Meaning if you have $1 million property, you took an $800,000 loan. And you're gonna see all these people get hit, especially when their property values tank and their tenants aren't paying rent. And if you live in a state like California or New York City, or New York, you're pretty much fried because the laws favor the tenant and courts are closed, and it might take you a very long time to get in front of a judge, and you might be better off just making a deal with the tenant to leave rather than taking all those losses. But this is what we're gonna experience. I mean, it's gonna get bad for a lot of people, but I'm just so grateful have the right insurance. Here's another one. I mean, it's pretty much done. Some touch-up work. Bathroom is actually pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty much done, but this is the life lesson. Insure your properties, get them insured, especially when you buy in these neighborhoods. It's gonna be also really interesting to see how certain neighborhoods perform over others. So now with the upcoming elections coming soon, I think Democratic states could get hit so hard because laws are simply so unfavorable for business owners to operate real estate companies in. It's just getting so bad. I might move somewhere outside of California, seriously, over what happens. They're already talking about defunding the police. I mean, it's just getting chaotic in these areas. And no one saw this coming. No one foresaw anyone going through what we're going through right now. But one thing that I'm very grateful for was that I did not listen to friends and other people telling me to buy last year. Because in LA, the numbers didn't make sense. It did not make sense last year to buy in LA. At least from what I saw. The returns are like 4% and it just didn't pencil. Now I think that we're gonna see such a huge drop that the money's gonna go a hell of a lot further. But the question is, do I go 50-50 and put half the capital in California and half in New Jersey? Or am I gonna slowly start leaving California? And that's gonna be really to be determined. And this backs up right here to a parking lot. That parking lot backs up to a pretty dangerous alley where there's high drug activity. But you know what's interesting is that this neighborhood 5 years ago, was a scary place to be. A scary place to be. People do not want to be here. If they have an option, they're going to go somewhere else because of the crime. And what's now interesting is that the police department was reformed. It was improved. The crime dropped dramatically. Prices are skyrocketing here. Rents are so high in relation to the purchase price. And you can literally buy these properties cash for next to nothing. I mean, 30 grand for a property, 20 grand, 40 grand, it's like a Honda Civic. And it produces you money, income, cash flow every single month in, month out. One thing that we're also learning due to this whole shutdown that we're all through is our jobs are not safe. Our incomes are not safe. I mean, who would have figured all these cops are at risk of losing their jobs? College universities, I just read an article that college universities believe they're going to be like retail conglomerates. So think Sears and JCPenney in 5 to 10 years. So these huge corporations, these huge landmark educational institutions that we're so accustomed to, they could all be gone because the cost of education is so high. So what this means is that when you're leveraging yourself, never think that you're always safe. Always prepare for the rainy day because that rainy day will come. It's not a matter of could it come. It 100% will come. There's no doubt about it. It will 100% come. So make sure that you're prepared for it. And another thing that I'm learning here during this whole shutdown, which I'm very, very grateful for, it's like about 2 years ago, I started stepping away from being a day-to-day real estate agent, meaning I wasn't going to cold call, wasn't going to door knock, I wasn't going to do anything that was around being a real estate agent. And the reason being is that I looked at it from a consumer mentality and realized that it was way too much to hire a real estate agent in relation to the value that I was receiving. Simply because the agent's taking publicly given information and handing it to me, or I'm handing it to them and I'm filling out paperwork and they're giving me 6% of the purchase price if you factor in all the costs involved. So 6% of $1 million property is $60,000 for that. I realize that in the next recession, as things change, it's gonna change for the better, for the consumer, as it always does, as all industries do. And so if I'm not adapting with the time and being realistic and really giving myself an honest self-appraisal of my own value, my own contribution to the world, then I'm gonna be left behind. I'm going to be left behind. So I took a step back. I took off an entire year and read and learned and studied and did everything I could possibly do to progress my mind, to put myself in a position to deserve more money, to really issue more value to the marketplace than I expected to receive in monetary compensation, which then resulted in more money. So if you're in that position right now, remember, over-insure your properties, over-insure everything, prepare for that rainy day, always question your own value. And never follow sheep, never follow people. Someone tells you, oh, do this, you'll be fine. You'll make 50 grand or 100 grand a year, whatever it is. You're worth more than that. Don't compare yourself and your potential to what other people are saying that, what your potential is. They don't know who you are deep down. Only you do. So that's my message here. Protect your bottom line, protect yourself, think big, and make bold moves, and do it with as little leverage as humanly possible. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please smash that like button, comment, and subscribe.